So we'll go by the tabs. Okay, so the whatever are available in the ribbon, will go according to it and finish it as soon as possible. So we have this home. So in home we have covered till um, okay. So we have alignment font. Numbers are nothing but making things in alphabetical order, or else if you want short date or something like that, I'll give an example. So when you click on numbers, imagine in this way. So it will give you in decimal places as well. If you don't want in decimal places, just select this and click on general. So it will become back to normal. And all these currencies and all these things, it depends upon the number whatever you're using. Okay. So insert, delete and format. These styles are related to a table. Okay. So imagine this is the table and you don't want to, you don't have that much time to color this and make any changes to it. So at that time you can directly click on format as table and you can select whichever color you want. Example, I'm using this blue. This is what it will do. It will just give you a background color to your table. And this conditional formatting is you are giving some conditions to the uh, cells. Okay. So example, here we have greater than. Okay, so what it's going to do is it will check whichever value. Example, we'll take this table. Okay, so when we have only less data, it is easy for us to know which one is the least. Okay, so here 30,000 is the least, but if you have huge amount of data, that time if you want to know, you can select the column, go for highlight cells. It will highlight all the cells which are when you give the particular number. So what I'm trying to do is I want to know uh, all the rows whose value is less than 1 lakh. You can now it says greater than. So if I'm selecting greater than 1 lakh, so all the details which are greater than 1 lakh will be highlighted. You can change the color as you want. Similarly, we have less than, between. Between means there will be a range. So you can put a range that you want data between 55,000 to 1 lakh 1 lakh 5,000. So whichever data is between 5,000 55,000 to 1 lakh 5,000, all that data will be available for you. Similarly, it will go on with others as well. Equal to text that contains. Text that contains means you want to search from a complete table. You want to search the name Mahesh, but it is small data. It's easy to search. But if it is huge data, we don't know. At that time, text that contains means you just have to type the name, and those things will be highlighted. That's it about the styles what we are talking about. And insert, delete we have finished yesterday itself. uh, Today what I want to do is I want to make you familiar with the important uh, table and how to work with tables, that is VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and also the pivot table. So we'll start with VLOOKUP. Okay, so let's take this table. I'll shift to the new one. Here we are inserting it. Okay, imagine this is the data. Now VLOOKUP will only work with a table which is in vertical form. So our table, this table is in vertical form. Okay, what does horizontal form mean? Horizontal form means the columns will be in this way, like employee ID. Wait, I have an example for you people. Anyways, so VLOOKUP means the table should be in vertical form. So the the columns will be in vertical form and the rows will be in horizontal form. So we have this table. Okay. So what VLOOKUP will do is, the main purpose of Excel is to make your things easier. Okay. Now this is, we have only 6 rows. Imagine we have 100 rows. Now we don't know how to filter them. Main purpose of VLOOKUP is to filter. Okay. So what we are trying to do over here is, we'll make things simpler in such a way that we'll get the things in as soon as possible. Okay. So example, I want, your boss is like, he wants employee IDs and salary of certain people. Okay. And he has given you only the employee ID, that is 255 and 243. Okay. These are the uh, two rows he has given you, and he's saying that I want to know the salary. But if you have more than 200 or 300, it is difficult for you to go and search separately. Okay. Imagine, and he'll give, if you have 1,000 rows, okay, and he's giving you 50 rows for you to search for the salary. At that time it will be difficult, but with small table it is easy. But I'll show you how to search for it. Okay. So we look up. Directly we can do it from here itself. Equal to we look up. Okay. So read this. What it says: looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table. Okay. So leftmost column is this. Okay. Leftmost column of table, and then returns a value in the same row. So if you are searching for 253, 243, 255, it should give you 1,30,000 in the same row from a column you specify. By default, the table will be sorted in an ascending order. So what he's saying is, you should always look for ascending order. So what I'll do, I'll I'll take these rows and make them in ascending order. How to do it in ascending order? Here it is. Sort smallest to largest. Expand the selection. No. Expand the selection means it will select this complete table. If you select only the continue with current selection, it will only filter this. See. Now this is in ascending order. Even for this, we need to make it in ascending order. We have here smallest to largest. Sort. We have sorted it. Now we'll work with VLOOKUP equal to VLOOKUP. See what it says. First is lookup value. Lookup value means with what value you are searching. If you are having Aadhaar card, how would people search your identity or something like that? With Aadhaar ID. The same thing with passport. So it will search with passport number. Here also it will search with employee ID. You need some ID to search some value. So VLOOKUP is the employee ID. So what I'm doing, I'm selecting lookup value. So this is my lookup value. I'm searching for 243. I've selected lookup value. Next, table array. Table array means from which table are you searching the value. This is my table. From this table, I'm searching the value. Next is column index number. Columns means the alphabets. Okay. So column wise, we are searching. So these are the columns. Okay. So what you are searching? You are searching for salary, and salary is in which column? This is first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth and fifth and sixth. So this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is fifth column. So enter 5, comma. He is saying you want approximate value or exact match. I want exact match. I'll click on it and close the bracket, hit enter. If 243 is 70,000. Now there is no need for me to work for 255. I'll just drag it. Got it. Now I'll explain you people once again with location. Okay. VLOOKUP. So lookup value. Once again, lookup value with what we are searching with employee ID. So we'll select employee ID number first column. Then table array. Table array means the complete table. You need to select the complete table. Then enter comma. Column index number. Now what we are searching for? We are searching for location. So location is in which column? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth column. So enter 6 comma false. You can enter two values for over here. For true you can use 1, for false you can use 0. So I'm using 0 for false. Enter Hyderabad. Now you just need to drag it. See, this is all about VLOOKUP. Okay. Now once again for the last time I'll explain you the VLOOKUP. If anybody has in doubt, they can ask me right now. So VLOOKUP. So lookup value. Once again, lookup value will be the employee ID because I'm searching with employee ID, comma, table array, complete table, comma, column index number. So my email ID is in first, second, third, fourth column. So 4, comma, 0. For exact match, you can use 0. For true, you must use 1. Enter. See, I got the email ID as well. Now you just need to drag it. You will get it for others as well. That is all about VLOOKUP. Any questions? Okay. So now we have something called as HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is like horizontal table. So this is vertical table. The columns are in vertical format. Now ID, first name, salary. These are the IDs and names. These are the names, salaries. These are the salaries. Okay. Now this table is called as horizontal table because the data is in vertical format and the row is in data is in horizontal format and the column is also into vertical format. So what we are trying to do here is now similarly how we worked with HLOOKUP, the same thing will happen with uh, how we have done with VLOOKUP, the same thing will happen with HLOOKUP as well. So first name, that's it, done. What all my IDs I'm looking for? I'm looking for 290 and 295. Okay. So equal to H lookup value, same thing over here as well. I'm looking forward for 290. 290 is first name, comma. 290's first name is Sam. So we should get Sam over here. So we have selected ID, comma, table array. Now table means this table, comma, row index number. Row index number means earlier it was column index number, now it is row. So you want first name. So first name is in which row? This is first row, this is second row, and this is third row. So we want first name. So the row number is 2, comma, I want exact match. So exact match is 0. Okay, I got Sam. I just need to drag it. Okay, just give me a second. Yes. So 290, 295. Lookup value is 290, comma, the complete table, comma, row index number is the row. The row is first name is in second row. So 2, comma, 0 and enter, done. Now the same thing we'll drag it in this way. So we'll get it. Example, I'll delete this and I just want 293 and 294 and 295. What I'm supposed to do is I just need to drag this way. That's it. Now if you want to know salary, enter salary over here. You can select this as well. You just need to drag this because once you entered the formula, you just need to drag it wherever you want and you'll get the data. So for vertical table, you need vertical table to search. If you want horizontal table HLOOKUP to work, you need to have horizontal table. That is what we have in HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. So you can get HLOOKUP in lookup references. So here we have VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. Now I'll teach you the pivot table as well. So the important one is pivot table. So pivot table is like formatting the table. Actually, what does format means is like it is making your search easier when you're working with pivot table. Okay. With pivot table, you can create the pivot chart and the different type of charts as well. So we have different charts in insert. Okay. So example, we have taken this. Okay. We have points table and level as well. What does points table mean? Points means we have different points for bronze, silver, gold, platinum and diamond. Okay. So if you want to create any graphical chart, what you need to do is you need to select the complete table and here we have chart. So if you want pie chart, you just need to select the pie chart. So there is, just give me a second. This table is not good. We'll select a good table. Example, we'll go with this table itself. Rainfall in India. Location. Rainfall. Hyderabad. Chennai. These states we are taking and rainfall in okay, deaths, rainfall due to deaths. So we'll place it as 12 deaths. Okay, rice cultivation in percentage. Okay. So here we'll put 25% in percent. Just give me a second, please stay on the line. Rice cultivation percentage. Here I'm putting 25%. Keyboard is not working. Just give me a second. If in okay, so this is the table. Okay, this is all about cultivation of rice. Okay, in percentage. So what we are, so if you want to have the chart for it, you just need to select the table and click on whichever chart you want. So this is how you can create the chart. Now you can have different designs for it as well. See, in this way also you can have. This is charts. So it is giving you the percentage of rice cultivation in whichever. So we just need to select the table and click on whichever chart you want. Example, I'll give you again one example that is related to bar graph. See, if you want to change the design, here it is the chart style. So it is predefined chart styles. You just need to select the chart whichever you want. Got it? The same way we have select the table, click on insert. We have line graph as well. So this is line graph. That's all about charts. So there are many charts, but you just need to select the table and click on whichever chart you want. That's it. Waterfall model. Got it. So this is all about charts. Okay. Next we have pivot table. See, pivot table. So main purpose of pivot table is to make things easier. So we have already have a table. So I'll take that table and let you know about it. Take this table. Paste it over here. Okay. Email ID is not required. Delete it. Okay. So you need to select the table and you can click on pivot table. So when you click on pivot table means what you're doing here is you are making your table in uh, in the format where you can search in a easier manner. Okay. Example, uh, if you are filling a form, so while filling the form there might be address. So what it will do, first you will have country's name, then the state name, then which of the city you are living in that way the drop downs will be populating. The same way we can do it in pivot table as well. So click on pivot table, it will ask you whether you want. First it will automatically select the range because we have already selected, and then we went to the table to create pivot table. It will ask you choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. So I want the pivot table to be in new sheet. Okay, new worksheet. I'll click on it. Now see, I got the pivot table over here. Okay, you are not. It is very easy, but it looks little complicated. But it is very easy. Now what all do you want? I want just the salary. So salary will come, and I want last name. It is first name and employee ID. See, now in this format you got the pivot table. So now why is it easy? Imagine if you have more than 100 rows. Okay. Now you want to know the salary or else the data of Mahesh. So click on, just select Mahesh and click on OK. So you'll get only Mahesh details. If you want all, select all. Okay. If you want, if you want the values of salary to be filtered, you can click this salary over here. Now you can select the salaries accordingly. I want only 11,000 salaries. Click on OK. You will get only that detail. So Mahesh is having salary over this. If you want to change, suddenly you'll be like, where is that pivot table sidebar, which is going to hire, help me with pivot table. Now it's not visible enough. So what you need to do, you just need to click on the table. So this pivot table fields will be available for you. These are columns. If you want things into column format, you can drag it in such way. If you want to things in row, you can drag it and bring it back to the desired places. That's all about pivot table. So pivot table is just for filtering purpose. If you have large amount of data, most of the things in Excel are to filter when you have large amount of data. So even VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP are for that purpose itself. That is all about pivot table. So here we have pivot table. Recommended pivot table is like if you're working on more than 2 to 3 pivot tables, it will recommend you, it will automatically recommend you that these are the tables which you can use it. Pivot chart. Pivot chart and pivot table is uh, populated automatically when you work on pivot table. So we have already created pivot table. Now pivot chart is nothing but click on pivot chart, done. We have already, here we have the data. Here we have the data. You need to click on pivot chart. It's already selected. I want a new sheet. Okay. You can select the salary and you can select the employee. Then pivot chart is also available for you. This is pivot chart. Now there might be a situation where you want both pivot table and pivot chart as well. So at that time you can select the complete table, original table, click on insert. Here we have pivot chart and pivot table. So in when you click on pivot chart and pivot table, you can create both at a time. See, salary, location, done. At a time we have created the pivot table as well as pivot chart. That's all about pivot table. This is pivot table. Pivot table will be an insert. This is filter. I'll explain you about filter. When you select the table and click on filter, filter timeline. So this filter is similar to this filter. Filter. When you click on filter, it will create drop down list over here. Example, when you are using format as table, see, when you are using format as table, it is only giving you, see, format as table. I'm selecting one. Okay. So it is giving you employee ID with filters. See, the drop down list will come for filter purpose. Same thing, it will come from filters as well. So if you have this drop down filters, it is easy for you to search any data. So if your boss is like, I want only uh, employ people who are from the location Hyderabad, click on this Hyderabad location and select only Hyderabad. See, it will give you only Hyderabad. Now if you want to know the original data, if you want to get back the original data, just click on select all and click on OK. If you want to know the names which starts with P, just type P over here, you will get that. That's all about filter, and the filter over here is also same filter. This page layout is mainly for print purpose, mainly for print purpose. All these things will be available in print as well. See here, collated, portrait means it will be in A4 size format, and landscape means it will be in a picture format. How we click a picture in that format, landscape will be. So mainly it is for print purpose, and it is not useful for us because the print whatever they take, it is done by uh, the one who mostly uses the printer. So that is for that purpose. Now next we have something called as macros. We have done yesterday itself. Okay, one more thing. So you might be in Excel, or else if you're working on Word, okay, you might have seen that sometimes you will get just plain page. Why? Because someone must have unchecked the grid lines. So grid lines are important in Excel. We have formula bar as well. So formula bar is for, this is the formula bar. This is the formula bar. But if you uncheck it, the formula bar will be gone. Okay. In view, we don't have much of the things, but macros is important over here. We have review as well. So in review, I'll guide you with the important one, that is protect sheet. Okay. Imagine imagine you are at office, okay, and someone there are people who might change your data. So at that time you can protect your sheet. How you can protect your sheet? Right click over here, you will have something called as protect sheet. Okay, click on it and it will ask you for password. Meanwhile I'm just entering Mahesh. Okay, and I'll select all. And I'll click on OK. Again he's asking for password. I'll enter Mahesh. Done. Now if I leave my system and someone is trying to edit this, no one can edit this because they need password. See, the cell your chart is protected, so no one can change this. So protect sheet is for that purpose. You can unprotect it by entering the password. Mahesh, wait, we can do it from here itself. Unprotect Mahesh, MAHESH. Done. Now you can change, you can make changes whatever you feel like. That is the protect sheet. Next, in formulas, you needed some functions. Okay, so some functions related to logical. Okay, let's finish this first. So you are familiar with sum. Sum is equal to, if you want to add any sheet, for example, here it is. Okay.
Sir, you are not audible, sir.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Okay.
Sir, you are
Yes, I have unmuted it. Okay. Okay. So just give me a second. Where is it? Formulas. Okay. The first one we have sum. So yesterday I've told you equal to sum. Select the complete row equal to sum. So this is sum. Next we have something called as average. So what does average mean? Average means total number of out total number of whatever the data we have divided by total number of outcomes. Okay, that means total of this, and how many rows we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 rows. So it is equal to sum this value. Okay, equal to sum this value. And what is the outcome? Outcome is 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'll enter 6. Okay, equal to this value divided by outcome. So it is 80,000. But that is not required for us. We directly have a formula that is average. Click on average. Click on average. This is the average. Directly we got the average directly from the auto sum itself. But how we have divided? We have divided by totaling the amount of salaries by number of outcomes. So it is 80,000. Next we have count numbers. Count numbers is nothing but, so if your boss is like, let me know how many candidates are there, at that time you need to just click on outcome and select the complete row. Select the complete row columns and select outcome. Wait. Count. Why is it showing this? It should give you 6. Equal to count numbers selected 6. So this is the count number 6. Example here I'll show you once again. Select the complete, click on count numbers. So this is the total of all these things, and this is the count number, means 1 2 3 4 5 6, and he has included this as well, 7. Next one is max value. Max value is very easy. So if you have a huge table and your boss wants to know which one is the, he wants to know the highest salary, okay, so at that time you can select the complete row, click on max. So max value is 13,000. If you want to know the least value, select the complete column and select minimum. It is 30,000. That's all about AutoSum. These are mostly used ones. Recently used will always show you which one you have used recently. Logical is also easy. It is not that useful, but it will be useful when you are working with uh, logically related data. Okay, so I'll take a new sheet. This is the new sheet. Now I'll tell you about logical and false if. Okay, so first we have something called as, we'll work with if first, and then you'll understand what we are trying to do. Okay, so when you're working with if, it says check whether a condition is met and returns one value if true and another value if it is false. So what it is trying, hello,
So, like we use in a programming, right?
I didn't get you.
These logical attributes are same as like we use in programming, right? The
Yes,
Boolean
yes,
values.
same thing, Boolean values. So if you're using if, so I'll give an example, small example, so you can have an idea and we can
If
finish.
this is equal to that, then they do this like,
Yeah,
right?
if this value is greater than so and so, it should be high or it should be low, something like that. Got it? So if you already know, then we can move
Yes,
ahead.
sir. Yes, sir.
We can move ahead.
No, sir. We don't know, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, it is very simple. Just listen carefully. Okay, so example, I'm putting the price. Okay, so price, and I'm putting the result. Now, price I'm putting at 644. Something called as 911 74 312 970. Okay, so here you will use it with logically. If there is some logic we want to use at that time, it is very useful. Okay, it is very useful actually. Okay, so I'll tell you what we are trying to do. Okay, now what I'm trying to do is I should get the result of this automatically. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, these are the prices. I want to know which one is lowest, which one is highest. Okay, and there is a condition for it. Okay, how we did over here, see, greater than, what I'm saying, if it is greater than so and so value, it should be in some color, but here over here we are not showing in some color, we are showing with the help of formula where it will show you the text as well. Okay, so formula is equal to if. Okay, what it says, check whether a condition is met and return one value if true and return another value if it is false. So if it is true, it should show me that the value is high. If it is false, it should tell it is low. Okay, that is my condition. See, logical test. What is the logical test? Logical test is, here we need to write the logic in this field. Okay, The logic starts with this value. Is 64 less than 500? Now tell me, is 64 less than 500? 644 is less than 500?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
No,
Yes,
644
sir.
is not less than 500. 644 is greater than 500.
Okay, this is 44. Yes.
So if it is greater, if 500 is less than 644, it should give me a value that is low. Okay. If it is high, it should give me the value high. See, check the formula carefully. I have just selected this column, this cell, and I'm saying that it is less than 500. Is it less than 500? No, it is high. So what should I get? High. See, high. Now there is no need for me to work for others. I'll just drag it. Now whichever
Sir, we can
value,
also execute some. Sir,
yes,
can we
yeah,
also execute some other formulas by using this formula of if?
yes,
Uh, yes, sir.
yes. So example,
Yes, sir.
the formula will be same. The formula will be like either greater than equal to something like that. The logic
Yes, sir.
should be
If the
within.
situation, yes,
Yes,
sir.
yeah.
If
Tell me.
the situation, if the executing value, if we are going to give the executing value as some kind of formula, will it execute the formula, sir?
Yes, yes. It will execute the
Okay,
formula.
sir.
So you got this right. Now I'll take you more
Yes, sir.
inside with if condition. Then you will understand. Okay, this is if condition. Okay. Now imagine there is another something like marks. Okay, marks and the result. Okay. So something like percentage will give. Okay, percentages. Okay, this is marks means percentages. Okay, 67, 45, 73, 82, 83, and we'll make it 50. Okay, now see here. Now see the logic carefully. Okay, it says if. Okay, if with the condition. Now what I'm trying to say is, if anybody whose score is less than 50, he's fail. That's it. Whose score is more than 50, he'll be pass. Okay, I'm selecting this and I'm saying greater than less than 50, comma, fail, comma, pass. Enter. Got it? So the condition says if 67 is less than 50, then fail or else pass. Now see here, 50 is also pass. Why? Because it is, I didn't say equal to, greater than, equal to. I just said if it is less than. Okay, you can put equal to. When you put equal to, let's see what it will show. It is showing fail. That means even if 50 equal to 50, the condition is that it should be equal to or greater than 50, then only it will be fail. If it is greater than 50, then 50 is also pass. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now I'll teach you one which is add, which is equal to add. Okay. Next one is add. Okay. Now we have formula and logical which says add. Okay. What it says, check whether all arguments are true and return true if all the arguments are true. Okay. So what it says is, if some condition is met and if both the conditions are met, then it should be false. If some of the condition is, if the both conditions, you might have seen in computers as well that there is a logical unit. Okay, so what it says, when you use and, that means if this and this is correct, then only it should be pass or it should be fail, something like that. Okay, so I'll take you with the formula. So we'll have random names and then score 1. Example, this is first semester score and this is second semester score. Okay. And here we have the result. So name, I'll give some name randomly. So Sam, Kiran. You can take the picture of screen if you see any formula because it will be useful for you. Okay. So we have how many rows? 5 rows. Okay. So score, I'm putting some random numbers. 93, 60, 58, 79 and 41. And over here I'll name it as 80, 91, 75, 94 and 33. Okay. So what I want to know is, see, 33 and 41 clearly shows that it is fail because their scores are less than 50. Okay. But there is a condition for it. We'll work with it. Okay. Equal to if. Okay. Logical test. Okay. Now see, earlier we had only one row for scores, but right now we have 2 rows. So sorry, here you can use AND function.
And
AND
yes.
function. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'll enter AND. So AND will be enabled. Logical 1, logical 2. What is my logic 1? Logic 1 is if this value is greater and
And
equal to 50, then it should be pass, comma. Another value is this value greater and equal to 60. This is my 2 values. Okay. Then, comma, pass, comma, fail. Enter. See, what is my condition? And means we have checking these two at once. So if 90 is 93 greater than or equal to 50, yes. If is 80 greater than or equal to 60, yes, then it is pass. See, I'll just drag it. Now why did I get fail over here? Because 41 is greater
both
than
are both are
is
smaller than
what
50.
are smaller than that. So imagine if I change this value. Okay, I'll make this 59. So what will be the value?
The same, sir, because both
No,
are
it
greater
will be
than
fail.
50.
It will be fail. See, fail because
Why, sir?
59 is greater than equal to 60. No, 59 is less than 60 and this value
Okay,
is
okay,
greater than
yes.
50. Got it? You can take the picture of this value. You can take the picture of this. So you can,
Sir,
yes,
sir,
yes.
one put 60.
Where? Over here.
Yeah, yes, sir. At the place of 59.
Yeah, so tell me what it will be.
I think, sir, it's passed, but sir, you
No,
are
it will
saying
be fail because it is equal to, right? If it is greater than 60, then it will be, then it will be pass. Let's see.
but the condition is
Yeah, it says equal to or greater than, it is pass. If
yes.
you place this fail over here, then it will be fail. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No,
Sir,
similar.
do
Yes.
we have some kind of loops in the MS Excel? Loops, while loops, for loops?
No, no, we have
Okay,
only if and all those errors. No, we don't
sir.
have loops over here. It is now it will go into macros. In macros you have macros is
Yeah.
having some uh, that is .NET type of, which is called as VB script. Over there you can use uh,
Yes.
while
Loops.
loop X, whichever if statement, if else, all those statements you can use over there. But this is not coding part. In
So, sir, we can also make functions and use it as use on the logical, right? Sir? We can also make new functions and add to our work.
it's not new functions. You can with macros you can create new functions.
Yes, sir.
With macros you can create new functions. Okay. So anyways, this is with AND. What will OR do now? there is one more thing called as OR. See here, OR. What it says, checks whether any of the arguments are true and returns true or false. Returns false only if the arguments are false. So what it says is pass means both the conditions should be true, but for OR, if any condition is true, it will be pass. Getting it? If any condition is there
Yes, sir.
which is possible, then it will be true. Okay, now I'll change this to OR. Okay, so I'll return result. Okay, we are using the same table, equal to if condition logic. What is my logic? My logic is if this value is greater than equal to 60 comma and this value greater than equal to, again I am using 60, I'll close the bracket. Your brackets are important, your commas are also important. All the strings should always be in inverted commas, double inverted commas. Fail and close the bracket, hit enter. So
So you
something,
didn't use the OR logic.
yes. So here or I got pass over here. Why? Both the statements are true. I'll drag it. Let's see what it will be. So here both the statements are false because it is 41 is less than 60 and even 33 is less than 60. Let's see after making it 72. So what will be the value?
Same, sir. Fail.
Pass. What I said,
So
One
false
fail,
value.
one pass, sir.
at least one condition is true, then it
Okay.
will be true. And means both the conditions should be true. Then only it will be true. Any one condition false, it will be false. In
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 the AND
OR,
logic. Okay.
either of the either
Hmm.
of the conditions should be true. If one condition is true, that's it. It will put true over there. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So that is, so we have covered if and or. Okay. If error and if n, I'll tell you. Okay. These two are very important. Okay. It will be helpful for you in when you're if you join some company and all those things, because there might be many errors. Okay. So something like if error. Okay. If error means returns value if error, if function is an error and the value of the expression itself otherwise. You know what is 1 divided by 0? If you put 1 divided by 0, what will happen?
There will be an error, sir. Zero error.
No. So that error is something different. See. So division error,
What?
you cannot divide 1 with 0. Okay. So what I'm trying to
Yes.
tell you is, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Okay. So this is division error. So imagine there might be incomplete data. There might be something when you're dividing, and so unfortunately you are getting this division error. So your boss won't like this division error. At that time, you can make use of division error is the error which is not possible. Okay. So we can put it if n. What you have to do, you have to put equal to if n a. It says value specify resolves na, otherwise returns the result. Okay. The value, what I'm saying, this is the value, comma, value if na, I'll put 0. You, just give me a second. Equal to if na the value. The value itself is this is the value. This divided by this, okay, comma, I'll put 0, or else I'll say if the value is if na, it is 0. There's some problem in Excel right now. We'll take an example. Better we take an example. Okay. So amount, and we're putting some currency. Okay. Example, we have taken currency. Okay. So what I'm putting here is 75, 80, and 100. Okay. So I'm just placing the currency USD. Next European EUR. Okay, European. Next is yen, and the last one I'll put it as RUP. So if NA will work when you have something called as example. We have already done VLOOKUP, right? So in that we can do. Okay, we have done VLOOKUP, right? Okay. So this is VLOOKUP we have already done on it. Okay. Now what I'm trying to tell you is, imagine your boss has given you a number which doesn't exist. Okay. Something like 260. Okay. But he had given you a value which is not existing in your table. Okay. The employee 260 is not existing in your table, but still he has gave you, and you are searching it. Okay. And if you drag it below, it will say NA. Why is it showing NA? Because it is not available. Now 260 is not at all available in the table. Okay. Getting it? Why is it not available? Because in the complete data we don't have that if NA at all. So at that time, what you can do is you can work with if NA. I'll delete this. Okay. So equal to if NA. Okay. What is our value? Value would be our VLOOKUP value completely. VLOOKUP. Lookup value. Lookup value is this number, comma, the complete table, comma, column index number. I'm searching for salary. So salary is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth row, fifth column, 5, comma, 0. Done. Now value if NA. Here it comes value if NA. So what I'll do, value if NA, in place of, I shouldn't get an error which says if NA. Instead of that, I want something called as not found. This is my string. If something is not existing, I should get not found. Enter. See. Location not found. Getting it? If I don't know the location, I don't want to know it. I shouldn't get NA. Instead of that, I am searching. I'm putting not found. You get that?
Yes, so instead of error, you are
Yes. So
executing a
you,
string.
yes. So you don't want your boss to see that NA errors. Instead of that, it is better you put it as not found, or the result does not exist, or else the employee ID does not exist. You can have that thing in your sheet. That's it all about if NA. If error is also similar to that itself. If error, see, returns value if error, if expression is an error or the value of the expression itself otherwise. This is also similar to same. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, so logical is almost finished. Now, all this are very easy, but it depends upon we need most of the time related to this. Lookup we have most in lookup, we lookup, H lookup, and pivot table. These are important. Hyperlink, I'll tell you hyperlink. What does hyperlink mean? Okay, so we'll work with hyperlink. Okay, so Google is there. Okay, and we'll make it Yahoo. No, Google, Facebook, Facebook. Okay, we'll keep it like in this way, and we don't know the email ID. Okay, Google. So I'll directly take their link and paste it over here, and Facebook. Okay. Okay. This is company name, and this is website link. Okay. Imagine maybe in future ever you got this thing that uh, yeah, the link is also available and the name is also available, and you want to use it you want to use this to know some people's ID. Example, let's say, okay, the company. Okay, this is the company. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is I want to tell you that this all people are from some other companies. Okay, example, they are from Google or Facebook. Okay, 11 sheet. Okay, 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 I want Google over here and Hyderabad, Google and Facebook over here, but when I click on the company I should get the uh, link open directly. Okay, at that time you can make use of hyperlink. So hyperlink, link location, link location is in over here. Okay, friendly name is, no, first I'll teach you here itself. Okay, equal to hyperlink. It will just create a link. It creates a shortcut to open a document stored on your hard disk. Okay, you can also open a link. So hyperlink, select link location. My link location is this. Okay,
B2.
comma, my friendly name is Google, and I
B2.
close it and enter. See, now this is the link. So whenever I click on this link, that Google will open. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So same thing. What I'm trying to tell you is, it is useful when you're working with a sheet and the employee. Okay, that sheet is 3. Okay, now imagine you are an HR, and he gave you this Jones gave you one um, resume. Now you don't know where you have placed the resume, and you as a HR there are lots of resume you might be carrying with you. So in the system, so you can paste it in some location where it is useful for you to search. But imagine this is the test document. Okay, I want this test document. This test document means resume. Okay, you might forget that where this resume is because it doesn't have a name. Okay, if it was Jones resume, you would have known it, but Jones has just named it as resume. So you can have that hyperlink over here. Hyperlink equal to hyperlink link location link location. You need to know the link.
Desktop/resume.
Yeah. So let's see what is there in this. Let's see what is there in this. Okay, so this is the abstract. Okay, and I'll close this. From here, when you go to desktop, where is that form? Resume. Okay, so this is my link. Okay, no, you'll get confused. I don't want to don't want you people to get confused. That's it. So you can have that link separately in that format what I've shown you. You can go in that format itself. Okay, next we have something called as other functions. Define name. Okay, got it. So I'll tell you about define name. Okay, define name means you can already have the names for your table. Okay, see here. Okay, so this is what is this? This is your total. Okay, price, and this is quantity. Okay, imagine the price is 10 and the quantity is 2. Okay, what should be the value? The value should be 20, but you can name this separately, define name, and you can name this as price and this as quantity. Done. Now see, when you click on price, you are seeing C14. When you click on 10, you are seeing price. You got it? What I'm telling? This, I have given a name to this cell. Okay, see here, this cell says C16, but this cell says price now. Getting it? So
Yes, sir.
during formula, you just need to click
We can
equal
write
to
price.
price.
Yes.
Got it?
Yes,
Price,
sir.
not this price. Price, this is the price into quantity. See, this is the quantity. Done. Enter 20. So define name means you can define a cell with your name. And if you want to see what all names are there available, which you have created, click on name manager. You can see quantity, price you have created. Got it? Now, when it
Yes.
will be useful if you are calculating like GST, and GST will be fixed. It is 18%. Now it is never going to be changed. Okay. For some value, CGST will be something 18%. Now these values in the table are never going to change. At that time, you can name this as GST and this as CGST. Done. So now it is universally fixed that it is 1818 and no one going to change it. So whenever you go and if you want to multiply equal to GST, at that time you'll get GST into whichever value you have, that value. Got it? That is all defined value. Now this precedent, this all these things are nothing but it will show how the formula was working. See here. If NA, look, all those things I've done. When I click on trace precedent, it will say that how this formula was working with the arrows. First employee ID, then it search for salary. So from where are we getting the salary? From the complete table, and from this we are getting the salary. Trace precedent means it will just check next what it is going for. Remove arrows, it will remove all the arrows. Got it? Next is data. So once again, data is also, this data is nothing but to get data from a file. Okay. So if there is something in text, so you can get that text into our values. Okay. Example, I'll put some text. Just give me a second. Text. Okay. Check carefully. It is without, I'm not creating a table. Name, whatever it may be. ID 1, 2, 3, 4. Name I'm putting Mahesh Sita. Okay. Now see, this is not Excel sheet. Okay. I'm putting on desktop and naming it sample. Okay. I'm closing it. Okay. Now I'm creating a new sheet and I want that data to be here. What I'll do, from file, and it is from text. So you can pull that Excel sheet, not Excel sheet. You can pull that notepad in this sheet. Not responding. Okay, we got it. So go to desktop. We named it as sample. Here it is. I'll click on import. See, this is how it's, he's saying that this is how the thing will be coming. So transfer data. Yes. So this is how we'll get the close and load. So that is how you can bring and make use of your sample data, even if it is not in tabular form, but you just need to make things separately. You can bring it into your data, but this is not that important. From database means you want SQL Server and all, but only this file. You can bring any folder, any workbook into this sheet. Okay. This is all query related. That is all connections. We need to recover connection. This sorting you have already seen in here. This is that sorting. Filter is similar to what we are doing filter. So I'll tell you. See, this is that filter. You can select the complete table, click on filter, done. What we have seen earlier over here. This one, this filter and this filter data, this filter is similar. Review, you have known the spell check, smart lookup with nothing but it will take you things online. Okay, if you're in some Excel sheet, okay, and some name is there, okay, example brain drain is the word used and we don't know what's the meaning of it. You can click on smart lookup. It will load that meaning of it, or else whatever it may be. That's all about smart lookup. Protect sheet is important. New comments means you can have comments over there. Like today someone has already worked on your sheet. Today you have worked on your sheet, and and tomorrow someone else has worked on your sheet. Okay, he can name a comment saying that I worked on it. We can write this comment at the date. Similarly, he'll put the date as well. Done. Got it. So if you go over here, it will show that I worked on it. So Mahesh worked on it. So at so and so time. That is the use of comment. So whatever changes you are doing, you can have a flow of it. So anyone making changes, they can see with it. Next we have view. So view is nothing but most of the things you can, okay, new window. New window means you're having the same page in new window. See, same page in new window. Arrange all. I want, so two windows at the same time. If you are comparing at that time, you can make use of this. Arrange all. Freeze panes. Yeah, freeze panes is important. Okay. We'll take a sheet. Okay, this is the sheet. Okay. So imagine there are around 500 records. Okay, 500 records. Now, what is this? Tell me what is this? Is this first name or last name? I don't know whether this is first name or last name because I've dragged it. But if I come here, I will know that this is first name, last name, and all this. What we can do is we can freeze this, and even when you are changing, you can see the column names. How? Freeze pins, and it says freeze top row. Now this top row got freezed. You can drag it. You can still see the row numbers. That's it.